Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, student. In this tutorial this week, I will explain about how to run SQL command in command prompt and in NetBeans. In this video, we will separate it into two parts. First part is explain about the data definition language and data manipulation language process in command prompt, and the second part it will explain about data definition language and data manipulation language in NetBeans, and I will show you how to connect MySQL into NetBeans in my video in the second part. Okay, so the first time let's just start this first tutorial. So at first you must open your command prompt. You can open it by click Windows R, or you can search it by in Microsoft search by CMD, so you can open that. Okay, after you open it, the command prompt interface is like this. So we must do this. We must open our SAM folder in this command prompt. How? So at first time you must write cd and dot dot like this. Okay, and then after that you can search where is your SAM installation file. So it depends of your computer, so we will search it again. Okay, I will search it in my computer firstly. So I put my SAM folder bin, my SQL folder bin in this part. So we just need to copy, and after that we will paste it in our command prompt. Okay, so we must type cd and then like this, enter. After you click enter, and you can see in this part, so we already in our bin folder, our SAM bin folder. So you must need to write MySQL -u space root -b, and then click enter. If you already set your password, you must input your password, or if you not, so just click enter again. So after this you can see there is a MariaDB in this part, so it means that you already connected with MySQL from CMD. After this you must write some SQL syntax. So for example, how about syntax about showing database? So we can write it like this. Show database. So the syntax will show any database in your DBMS. Okay, I will click enter. After this, enter. Okay, as you can see, I have e-commerce database, MySQL, my PHP, my admin, start, test, and extra database. So in this part we will create new database again. For example, I will create database name exercise, for example, like that. So how to create exercise database? So the syntax is create database without s, exercise, create database, your database name. So in this case my database name is exercise. Okay, I will click enter. After this notification appear, we already know that query is okay, one row affected. So we must create we must see our new database again. We can see there is exercise in this part, so you succeed to create this database. Okay, the next step is we must use which one the database that we want to create table or we want to do anything. So we must choose which one database that we want to process or we want to manage. Okay, so in this part we won't use exercise database. So the syntax is use exercise. It will be like this. Use exercise, and then there is notification that show you about database change. Okay, so MariaDB, so we already in database exercise or we already in exercise database. So the next step is I will make 3 table. The table name is table buyer, table product, and table transaction. So in table transaction we must release the table has relationship with buyer table and with product table. In buyer table, the primary key is ID buyer, and in product table the primary key is ID product. So we make a relation between transaction table into product table and into buyer table. So the first step, I will make buyer table. So how to make buyer table? The source is like this. I will create buyer table. Create table. The name of table is buyer, and the attribute is ID buyer, name buyer, address, phone, email, and the primary key is ID buyer. So if you already watch my video before how to create table, so the syntax is create table and your table name, and after that you must write your column name, and then you must write your data type name, and then the description name, is it null or not null, and after that you must set the primary key in this table. So in this buyer table, the primary key is ID buyer. Okay, I will click enter. Query. Okay, so we already make buyer table. And then the second table is product table. How to make it? The source, the syntax is same, but you must set the attribute different. You must set it into attribute that you need. So in this product table we have ID product attribute, name product, and quantity. The primary key in this product table is ID product. So here is the syntax. Create table product, and then the attribute is ID product, and the data type is varchar. The size is 5 and it is not null. And after that the next attribute is name product, and the other next is the other attribute is quantity. Okay, so click enter. Okay, after this we have to make our last table. Last table is transaction table. So in this transaction table we have 3 columns, which are ID transaction, date transaction, and payment. Payment is divided into 2 variables, which are cash, pay by cash, or pay by credit. So you must use enum type in payment column or in payment attribute. Okay, we will create it. So the syntax is like this. Create table transaction, and then the attribute is ID transaction, date transaction, and payment. And then the primary key is ID transaction. You must set primary key into ID transaction. So we already have 3 tables after this. Click enter. Okay, so we will see this table that we already made. So we have three tables, and we should see the all of table that we already made. So we use syntax show tables with s. Show tables, enter. So you can see we have a table in exercise database. We have buyer table, product table, and trends table. So after you say this, we already have three tables, but we have so we haven't set any relation in those tables. So the design is we should relate buyer and product into trans table. So in transaction table, they have foreign key buyer ID and product ID. So how to do that? Because we already made these three table, but we didn't set any foreign key on it. So we can set it by alter. So we use alter syntax in transaction table. Okay, how is it? First thing to do is I will alter this table. Which one is it? Sorry. I will alter transaction table, and I will add ID product columns, and I will connect it. I will relate it with product table. Okay, so the first time is I alter this table first, and then we make a foreign key after this. Okay, so we add two columns again. First column is ID product, and the second column is ID trends. The second column is, sorry, ID buyer. Okay, click enter. Okay, so we have our new column. We use alter table. Which table that we should add column, we choose transaction table, and then we must add column. So this one is our new column name, our new column data type, and this one is the description is null or not null. And after ID trans, it means that where I put that column after what column in transaction table. So I said it, I put our new column, which are ID product, in after ID transaction column. Okay, so the next step is I will add another columns for ID buyer. I add another column named ID buyer, and I put it after ID transaction column. So I click enter. So after this, we have two new column in table transaction. We can show it by using description syntax. So like this. Describe transaction table. You can see we have field ID transaction, new field ID buyer, and ID product. The first table, when you said it, when you created before, is just ID transaction, the transaction, and then payment. But after we alter it, we create a new table, we create a new column, ID buyer and ID product, and you can see there is just primary key. There is no foreign key. In these two columns, we must set foreign key. How to set foreign key? So in column ID buyer, I must relate it into table buyer, and in column ID product, I must relate it into table product. Okay, so the syntax is like this. Alter table transaction add constraint. So the name of the constraint is transaction product. So for in K trans product, I give it name like this, FK trans product, and then we must set a foreign key in which column in trans table. So in ID product column, in this column in table trans, reference is the destination table. So reference table, this name is this part is the table name, it named product table, and then this part is destination column name, so it named ID product. Okay, we click enter, query okay. And the next step is we should add a constraint again for correlating a transaction with buyer table. Okay, so the source is like this: alter table transaction, add constraint, foreign key trans buyer, foreign key, this one is the column in table transaction, column ID buyer, reference in stable buyer, column ID buyer. So after that we should describe it again, describe trans table. Okay, you can see there is a key, primary key is ID transaction, and this one is foreign key is ID buyer and ID product. Okay, so after that we should insert. So in this week is we will learn about how to insert data and how to update and how to delete. For example, in this time we must insert data in a buyer table, so we must insert for the first example I must insert one's data in table buyer. The syntax is insert into table name and then attribute names and then the values. So if you already see our video, our tutorial before, so that we have three format of inserting data in table. The first format is like this, so you must insert into the destination table and then you must describe it one by one about the column name and then the values there. It is for one insertion, just one data. Okay, so it succeeds. For its next example, another format is format 2, so you don't need to explain it all, the value name, the attribute name here. We can erase it here, this part we can erase it. So you must just need to write insert into buyer and then values and so on. Okay, for example, insert into buyer values like this. So you must insert and then directly you say the content in that insertion. No need to describe one by one the attribute name like the first example. Okay, and then the third example is, for example, we have in this buyer table we have 1 2 3 4 5 attribute, and you try to insert it by format number 2. If you try to insert it by format number 2, you must put it still into 5 attribute like this, 1 2 3 4 5. But what if you try to insert it just with 4 attribute, or maybe more than 5 attribute? It will be error. So for example, it will result like this. I try to insert in with format number 2, but I just use 3 variable, 3 attribute, or maybe 4 attribute. Okay, the example is like this. I try to insert with 2 format, second format, right? So the values is 3 and then the name is beta and address is Polynema and then phone number this. but I delete the email. This, you can see the difference, right? So I just use for attribute, and I use this second format, so the result will be like this. Column count doesn't meet value count at row 1. So it said that the column is different with the column in the table that you try to insert. So if you use this kind of format, you must insert it into exact number of column in that table, no less and no more. Okay, next. The third format is how about insert with multiple values. I mean, the values is more than one, so you must insert it into using our third format. So insert into table name and then values, and you can separate it into in each data with comma. Okay, so you can see in this example I try to insert this. Okay, it is our first data and it is our second data. If you want to add even more, you can just put comma and then put another insertion list. Okay, so it is the format. So insert into name of table and then values A, comma, values B, comma, and then etc. Okay, and then how to see the table that I already, the data that I already insert in buyer table. So we can use syntax select star from the table names. Okay, so star is, it means that it selected all the content in that table. Okay, so the example is like this. Select star from your destination table. In this case, I used to select buyer table. So this is the insertion list. We already did it before, and this is the result. Okay, select star from buyer. What if I just wanna select buyer that has ID buyer 1, for example? So we can use this kind of syntax. Select star from table name buyer where ID buyer equal with 1. Okay, enter. In our second selection, it just selects one data with ID buyer 1. And then the next step, this next tutorial is how to update data. So we try to update data in data product. We should insert it first. We must insert the data in product table and in transaction table. Okay, so the source is like this: insert product and insert transaction. Insert into product values P1 pencil, and then this one the values. We use same format for insertion, and we try to select the data in our product table. Okay, we should use select star from product. Select star from product, and the result is like this. After you insert and you select to test it, the result is this. And then the next step is insert into transaction table. So the source is like this. I insert two data in a transaction table, but you can see there is a date data type, alright? So how to insert the date data type? In the first example, I use current date or car date. So the result is our current date right now, our date today. And the second example in our insertion is we describe it manually like this. We can set it the date as you wish. So it is you can set it up to you. Okay, then we should select it like our table before. Select star from trans. So the result is like this, you can see. Okay, the next step is how to update. The example of updating data. So we use syntax is update, name table, and then set which column that you want to update, and then you must edit with word where the column or where the conditional where the data that you want to update. So for example, like this, I want to update buyer data. I want to update data in a buyer table and set the email name into new email. Okay, so for example, the syntax is update, the table name is buyer, and set update table name, set, and then which column you want to update. For example, in this case is email column, and I want to update my email into these things. Okay, and then where is the conditional place. So I just need to update this data which the ID buyer is 1. So just one data that affected from this update syntax. Okay, when you click enter and it result like this. We can select it again. Select again from table trans. Okay, oh, this is not table trans but table buyer, right? Select star from buyer. Okay, this is our new data. Okay, update is done, and then how to delete data. For deleting data or for removing data, we use syntax delete from table name and the conditional where the column you want to delete, and it must be conditional phrases. For example, like this: delete from table product where ID product equals with 3. I want to delete ID product 3 from table product. So as you can see, the ID product 3, if we scroll it again, this one. ID product 3 is book, this one. So I want to delete this with this source. Delete from product where ID product 3. Okay. We should try to select again this table. Select star from product. Okay. Okay. So it is done. We already deleted. Okay, our tutorial part 1 is just this all. So you can try to learn again, exercise again, so you can be more understand about this subject. Okay, thank you very much. We will try this in NetBeans, all of these source in NetBeans after this in our second video. Okay, if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me directly in my number. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.